Chapter 12 of Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones. Landing at Tyzel traps you in a dense fog on top of a naval blockade. Surviving this chapter requires you to simultaneously secure two highly vulnerable characters and bypass a lethal boss mechanic hidden at the top of the map. Before deploying, you need the right roster. Bring pre-promoted, high-mobility tanks like Seth or Dusel. You will also need units who specialize in lances or magic, along with a dedicated healer. This dossier highlights the final and most counterintuitive piece of your team composition. You must deploy one unit with extremely high physical defense, and you need to strip all weapons from their inventory before the battle begins. You cannot win Tyzel by simply charging forward and attacking everything in sight. Success here relies entirely on spatial control and strict defensive discipline. Looking at this map layout, the ships are connected only by a few narrow walkways. On turn 1, position your highest defense pre-promoted units directly onto these walkways, forming a physical barrier that stops the overwhelming enemy numbers. You will notice a high-level enemy commander named Kallax stationed nearby. Ignore him. His departure on turn 2 is coded into the game, so you don't need to fight him. If you are playing on hard mode, prepare for hidden reinforcements. Starting on turn 4, giant spiders called Bale will spawn above the stairs on the left. By turn 8, Bonewalkers will begin appearing from the top of the map, right behind the boss. Once your tanks have the right flank locked down, send your high-mobility strike team up the left side. The left walkway has fewer enemies, making it the safest route to advance toward the top of the map. Locking down these choke points early on turn 1 prevents the enemy from overrunning your position. That stability buys you the time required to safely execute the map's secondary objectives. Step 1 of your secondary objectives is visiting the village on the map. Doing this allows you to recruit Ewan, a young mage. Ewan joins with extremely low base stats and limited movement. If an enemy targets him, he will likely die in a single hit. Keep him strictly behind your front line at all times. Your second target is Marissa, an enemy swordmaster, positioned near the boss. The only way to recruit her is by having Ewan talk to her. If your armed units enter her range, they will counterattack and kill her before Ewan reaches her. Move your unarmed high-defense unit directly into Marissa's strike radius. She will attack and deal no damage. Without a weapon, your unit cannot retaliate. Next phase, advance Ewan to initiate dialogue and switch her affiliation to friendly. Recruiting hostile targets often requires carefully managing who can deal damage. By disarming your own unit, you eliminate the risk of accidental kills and control the board safely. Now that Ewan and Marissa are secure, you can address the final obstacle, the immobile Cyclops stationed at the top of the map. This graphic highlights the boss's inventory loadout, specifically the weapon named Swordslayer. If you send a sword-wielding unit to fight him, this weapon will deal massive bonus damage, guaranteeing a lethal counterattack. To neutralize him safely, restrict your attacks entirely to lance or magic users. Keep your sword units out of his range completely. This flowchart maps out the optimal contingency plan for your magic users. Have your mage attack from a distance, then immediately use a mounted unit with the rescue mechanic to extract the mage out of the boss's threat radius. Alternatively, ensure your healer is stationed right on the edge of the danger zone, ready to mend any damage. Checking an enemy's inventory before you attack takes 2 seconds, but skipping that step against a boss like this results in losing your best units. Defeating the Cyclops completely clears the naval blockade. The heavy fog lifts, and the map is officially complete. This infographic lists your final rewards. By defeating enemies, you secure an Elfire Tome, a guiding ring, a short bow, and the boss's Swordslayer, alongside keeping both Ewan and Marissa permanently on your roster. Before you save your game and proceed to Chapter 13, open your inventory and re-equip a weapon onto the tank unit you disarmed. Managing a complex map like Tyzel requires patience. By controlling the map's narrow pathways, executing non-combat mechanics, and anticipating hidden loadouts, you secure rare items and extra units that strengthen your army for the battles ahead.